Right at 4. It's 4, so we're right on time today. And we love doing these webinars, everybody that's watching, because we get to share so many great things. And today we have lots of really great guests. And so we're excited too. So I'm just going to share my screen so we can get all started on time. Okay, got to make sure I can see all of my friends here on the screen too. Okay, well, today we're excited that you're joining us for the May Future Ready Librarian webinar. And Leah, my colleague at Future Ready and Future Ready Librarians, and I had this idea that it would be really fun today to just have something like for us about our own learning and even just our own like personal lives, because we're all getting ready for the summer. And so I am excited because this is something new that we're doing. And we have a lot of things to share. So you'll want to jot down the URL or use your phone and scan it so you can get the information afterwards, because everybody, like I said, has a lot of good things to share. So you'll be able to get to that too. And I'll share that at the end as well. But just to start, we're going to quickly introduce ourselves, and the information will be in the slides. If you want to reach out to anyone specifically afterwards too, you can find them here. My name is Shannon McClintock Miller. I am the district teacher librarian at Van Meter Community School, and I also serve as the Future Ready Librarian Leader. I blog at the Library Voice. You can find me on social at Shannon M. Miller, and all the information is there. And so please feel free to reach out if I can ever help.
All right, over to me. Hi, everybody. I am Rochelle Dene Pose. I'm a full-time Spanish and STEAM teacher in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, also a consultant and attorney. Love learning. All of my contact information is on there, and I'm just excited to be part of this today and learn from everybody that's here. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Bass. I am responsible for innovation in my district, Parkway School District, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. All my information is there. And I am just really happy to be here with everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie Rue. I'm an educator, specialist, and advocate of all things school library and media literacy, hailing from Chicago, Illinois. I'm also the director of a not-for-profit, URI, Youth Urban Reading and Writing Initiative, as well as a publisher and scholar, so second-year doctoral student, and I'm so happy to be among some wonderful colleagues today.
Hey, I'm James Allen. I work at the Kentucky Department of Education. I'm our state school library support person. It's cool to be here. I really like seeing all the links on here. I'm going to go back through later and check them all out.
Hey everyone, I'm Blake Hopper. I'm an assistant principal in East Tennessee. I used to be a school librarian, and I moved up into this role a couple of years ago. Excited to be here. You can follow me on socials at the Lit Principal.
Hey, my name is Lynn Bryan. I'm the partner for library services in Cherry Creek Schools, just southeast of Denver, Colorado. Like everybody else said, I'm super excited to join in and hear from everyone. I am taking a social media diet, so I'm currently only on Blue Sky, but it's going really well. Excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Kimmery, and I'm coordinator of library services for Metro Nashville Public Schools. So I'm in a district role now, but previously I was a middle school librarian for 17 years and an English teacher for 3 years, and excited to be here and learn from you all and share today.
Thank you, friends. And just want to also thank our supporters and also Follett Content for being our library leadership sponsor. Without them, we wouldn't be able to be here today. So we're excited to kick this off. And just as I said in the beginning, like summer is such a great time for us, for our personal growth, for us to take time for ourselves, do a lot of things professionally. And so today we've brought together librarians and educators and authors too from across the country to share how we use the summer months to grow, recharge, and get inspired for the year ahead. So we're going to start out with one of my favorite things, and that is just sharing our must-read books. So if your slide comes up, you know that it's your turn, and you can take it from here.
Well, that's me. Sorry, I was saying hello to one of our Nashville librarians who's on the call. Hello, Caitlin. Yeah, so many things to read, and I won't go into all of these, but I get so many good ideas from the lady on the far right of your screen. That's Ann Patchett, and she's the owner of Parnassus Books in Nashville. She is a very well-known author herself. And that little yellow arrow there, that's my dog. My dog Agnes got to be on Ann's Lay Down Diaries video, which posts to the Parnassus Instagram every Tuesday. So Anne goes over all the new releases in the book world, from adults to children's, every Tuesday. And then on Friday, she does a video called New to You, where she may cover some books you've heard of, but maybe you haven't made time to read. So huge fan of all that Parnassus shares. And I have my own little book club, Party of One. Every summer it's the Ann Patchett Book Club, trying to read all of her books. So this summer I will do The Dutch House. But if you're sometimes in a place where you're kind of stuck and you don't know really what sounds good, highly recommend you follow the Parnassus Instagram, because you're going to get a wide variety and diverse variety of suggestions.
Love that. I love following her too. So many good things.
I'll be quick. I know Dr. Matson's digital citizenship book is not brand new, but it's really good if you've not read it yet. Like, I am not a super professional book type person, but sometimes it's kind of hard to get through those, but hers is good. So if you have anything to do with digital anything in your school or with other teachers, read it. And my friend Adam Watson he has a book coming out about role-playing games in the classroom, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one too. So I've got, all these are linked.
Yeah, I thought that one looked really interesting. Great suggestions.
Hi, everyone. For my books, most of these are business, or not, well, they are business and they're professional books. But if you've never read Waking Language and you talk to anyone ever and try to tell stories through slides, it's a great book. It's a quick read. You can do it in about 20 minutes. Not really, but it's fast. It's less than 100 pages, but it's a great book like that. Innovation as Usual is one that I spent a lot of time taking cues from when I am working in my district. And then, of course, I can't not talk about the book that Shannon and I put together, Leading from the Library. It is our second edition now that has come out, and we're going to be sharing a lot about that over the course of this year. And then finally, my one book that is on here that is not the professional book is Scythe, and Neil Schusterman. I really enjoy this his whole series, and so I would definitely recommend that if you're looking for a little dystopian time with yourself.
Great suggestions.
So that's me. I shared a couple of professional books and one book that I thought would be great to start the year off for next year. So maybe you could be preparing for it. The PD book, I feel like that goes for administrators, but also librarians, because we sometimes have to do PD and collaborate with teachers and show off things. So it was a great way to look at how to transform your PD and make it meaningful. And then I got to be one of the first to read Rock Your Read Alouds. And it's awesome. It talks about all the impact that read alouds have, how to really do read alouds, and then the whole back section of it, really half of it has QR codes with tons of lesson ideas and things that you can do with read alouds I even do this still in the middle school. I was an elementary librarian, but I'm a middle school assistant principal. I will still randomly read and pop in and out of classes to do that. And the book, The Day You Begin, is one of those books that I always read at the beginning of the year because it really talks about sometimes you're different, sometimes you might not match what's at your school, but it's okay for you to stand out and really be yourself and maybe change impact on people.
So my professional summer reading is always going to include my own books that I have published with my husband, Why Black More. So that's the cover of Chill. We're also penning our first picture book regarding media literacy. The Building Disciplinary Literacy Skills, A Teacher's Guide for Secondary Students. That is from Dr. So from Chicago State University. It is newly published. It includes, well, the reason why I'm interested so much in it, one, I am featured in it, and two, as the special areas department chair of my school and instructional coach, it lends itself to how do we collaborate, what do we pull from interdisciplinary so that teaching and learning happens from all areas within the school community. And Teaching Students to Decode the World by Chris Berry and Cindy Shee. Like I said, I'm a media specialist, so they are pioneers when it comes to media literacy in America and beyond. So that's a staple in my professional development collection. The Mind of the Leader is one that was included in my repertoire as far as required reading for a class that I took regarding educational leadership. And I just found it fascinating in regards to building the mindset of a true leader. And then we have those books. I'm not going to read all of those books below, but I'm also a coach for our Chicago Public Schools Battle of the Books competition. So I'm a coach for our junior varsity team. And so now I have to choose which book I'm going to read first in regards to the 20 titles that what my team is supposed to read for next school year. So I'll be reading one of those books as well.
Great ones.
I had a hard time picking. So I wanted to kind of make a mix of some professional books, some personal growth books for myself, and then also a picture book, and then one that's a little bit more serious. The one I like to kind of focus on the upper left is Creating a Reading Culture in Primary and Secondary Schools by Margaret Murga. This is one that our state library in Colorado did a statewide book study on, and it provides some research-based strategies for building a culture of not just literacy, but reading as a way to get kids and teachers and students and kids and students and family members engaged in reading for pleasure, but without it feeling optional. It's hard to put into words because she does it so much better than I do, but it's one that I keep going back to. Even though we've done the book study, I've read the book a couple of times, I keep going back to it looking for nuggets of wisdom. The other one that was a big game changer for me is the one right below it. It's The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. It really focuses on how our mindset and how we approach things that happen to us really impacts how we respond. Things always happen to us. We don't have control over that, but we do have control over how we react and how we respond. And that book really made a huge difference for me about a year ago when it was recommended to me by the state librarian in Texas. And the others are just books that have really just spoken to me over the course of the year. And I won't go into great detail, but I can highly recommend any one of those as one you can pick up at any point. And again, they're some are uplifting, some are challenging, but all are impactful.
And I put on mine the same one that we already talked about, Rock Your Read Aloud, that Blake mentioned. And this book is awesome. Barnes & Noble has been doing a lot of things with Matt and Melissa. They also are the creators of Novel Effect. So if you've heard of that before, you might have heard of them, and just a fantastic book. And then I have a new series coming out at ISTE, and maybe you've seen my first book that I did with them, Sonia, and all of her friends now are early chapter books. And so there's going to be 7 early chapter books. 4 come out at this ISTE, and 3 at the next. So I linked that poster too. And the great thing about these is they're all tied to the ISTE student standards. And so each one of them teaches our kids about one of those standards. Okay, the next thing are podcasts, and so many great ones again. When I was looking through the slides today, I added quite a few to my own phone. So you're going to get a lot of ideas from these.
I mean, Hidden Brain's been around a long time, but I'm convinced that if everyone listened to it, like all of the world's problems would be solved like in a couple weeks. Like we'd be good. Everything would be fine. But so if you've never listened to Hidden Brain, check it out. The Mystery AI Hype Theater has taught me a ton. I mean, it's a little snarky sometimes, but I think that fits with me. So, and then the Witches one is there's two Kentucky ladies who just kind of talk about weird stories. So that's it. All three of them are good.
Yeah, so great. I love it all.
So I, of course, listed Leading from the Library. I've been on that one several times. It's really good. When I was in the library, got really good ideas from that. School Libraries United. I've also got to be a guest on it, and there's tons of great ideas on that. And then I listed a principal one, an admin one, the Modern Principal. It's really good for some quick PD in your car on your way to school to get some great ideas for different things you can do in your school to change culture and lead and just everyday problems that a school might have.
Who's this? Nobody? Nobody did this one?
Those are good ones, though.
I know. Well, if you decide that it's yours, we'll go back to it again.
It's very similar to the one I did. Yeah, just to echo what Blake said about, School Librarians United, Leading from the Library, of course, are staples. The two that I have on the bottom, the Librarian Influences and Not a Rocking Chair Librarian, are not producing new episodes, but it's kind of like rereading a book. I like to go back and listen to some of the episodes that have been done because the issues that we wrestle with in librarianship are different, but they're kind of the same. We can see those themes repeated. Anything with Steve Tatro, I listen to on repeat. He's awesome. He's one of my favorite human beings to listen to. And then the School Librarian Learning Network is also one that, because of its focus on us and our work, that is one that I love to dive into and share with the librarians that I support in my district.
I'm glad you put Laura's on there because that's so good. The librarian influencers, like she so good and so many things that she has to share.
This one's mine. So this is just a small sample, but they're all education based. One of them that I'm liking right now a lot is this one called Academic Distinctions. It's relatively new. It's from two folks that used to work at the Department of Ed in the Office of Ed Tech, and they are talking about like the history of some of the things. Their latest episode was about Head Start and kind of where Head Start came from and what it what it actually is. It's a really interesting thing. IdeaCast is from Harvard Business Review, just about leadership. Some other technology ones. Ed on the Edge is interesting because it is from the folks that do ASU GSV, and they have just interesting interviews with interesting people. And you don't always agree, but it's a good way to kind of think differently about things. And one I didn't put on here that I actually really like, and I can't believe I forgot it, is called You're Wrong About. And it's not education based at all, but it's pretty cool because what it does is it takes like different theories and things like that from history and kind of debunks them and kind of changes, at least I think it makes me think about these things differently, these topics that you always hear about and grow up with, and you're like, oh, doesn't again, you don't have to agree with it, but it's kind of like, that's interesting. So definitely I will end up putting that one on as well because I do enjoy listening to that one too.
Well, you'll see some familiar shows that we all seem to love, me as well. Leading from the Library, and then Adam and Carl's Undisrupted is also so good. And of course, Amy Herman, Steve Tatro. I learned so much from all of these folks. And then I start my day every single day with Up First. That's my get it ready with me. Is that what the young kids say? Get ready with me. Podcast that I listen to every single morning. And then driving around Nashville, I have 130 librarians, so I'm visiting schools every week, and podcasts are my go-to in the car. So leadership, like Simon Sinek, is a go-to. And then Unlocking Us really got me through the pandemic. I mean, Brene Brown invites so many interesting guests, and the conversations that they have, and I think what is kind of important larger conversations like we need to be having in our society and in our culture. So good. I listened to so many of those again and again. One of my favorites recently was she had Roxane Gay on as a guest, and that's definitely one I listened to like twice. And then Jonathan Van Ness always makes my day like happier and brighter. I love listening to him and the variety of guests that he has on the show. And they're addressing, health, mental health, just all the things. So a little bit of a mix here for you.
Great.
So I am building my regime of podcasts. So to start with, yes, Future Ready Librarians. I've learned a lot from that podcast, but as well as a local one, Can't Shelve This, and that is from the library, the Reaching Across Illinois Library Systems. Rails. So that one is important to me because it keeps me privy to what's going on in other libraries throughout the state. So I really enjoy that podcast. The other three are more, as in the previous presenter, help me during this election year, and as well as a Black Indigenous person with Amanda Seal, Small Doses, and Roland Martin, as well as Midas Touch, keeping me grounded in what's happening in America currently, and just having a sense of comfort that we are in this together. So those are my go-to podcasts.
So the next thing, I always love to hear where people are going. And I think that we have so many opportunities that are in person, but also things that might be online too. And so I think there's going to be lots of ideas here, and a lot of us are going to be at the same place too. So it's kind of fun to see.
So for me, these are just three of them that I'm headed to. First of all, AASL is in St. Louis this year, and so happy that it is going to be in my town, and I'm going to enjoy that. I'll also be at ISTE in San Antonio, and the ISTE ASCD kind of combination. It will be it's going to be big. There's going to be lots of things happening this year, just because the two of them are in there together. And then finally, AI4 is an interesting one that it's really an industry show about AI. So it's not education specific, but every time I go, I learn lots of interesting things from it. And so I really do. It's right at the start of the school year. It's a horrible time, but it's definitely one. I've been twice now, and it's definitely one that I find really, really interesting and changes my perspective sometimes. So.
This is me. We have some interesting ones here in Colorado. InEdco is Innovative Education Colorado. It's happening next month in Breckenridge at one of our ski resorts. So summer is a great time to go up to the ski resorts. It's beautiful up there. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to InEdco for a couple of years, so I'm excited to go back. That's EdTech. All things tech. The one at the bottom is our HESL EdCon. HESL stands for Highly Effective Schools Through Teacher Librarians, and it's our state library kind of a recognition program. So they put on a one-day EdCon that's free to attend. We have some fantastic speakers coming. I'm presenting a session. There'll be Demco Book Doctor will be there. It's going to be a party. It's going to be so much fun. And then our state library conference, CalCon, is in September. Again, at the beginning of the year, beginning of the school year, but a good time to kind of ramp up with some new ideas for the year. And I'll be joining you, and I can't wait to visit. I have not been to St. Louis in years, so I'm excited to go to ASL this year and go back to a city that I've had such a great bunch of memories in. So I can't wait to go back. So it's going to be awesome.
So, of course, I always encourage everyone to join their state associations. I always say that they've given back to me way more than I've ever given them. It's really what led to my career and helped me be pretty good at my job. And I also put on our ASL. I'll be getting to go to that as an administrator, and then some administrator events, the NASSP, and then the TNASSP, and then they have a huge conference called United in Seattle this year. So my principal and I are hopefully getting to go to that as well.
I'm just going to stop for a second and refresh because I think we might have missed some that maybe a couple that were added, which is good. I'm excited that now we'll just go ahead. The recording, we'll just cut this little part out. So I'm going to stop here so you can do this one first quick, okay? And then we'll go and do the other.
Sorry for that. I typed them into the chat too really fast. I was like, but I'll just say real quick, I put mine on there, but that's like the last one. But I do like listening to like ISTE's podcast, and I'm a frequent listener and a frequent guest of Carl Hooker's, both between he and Adam on their Undisrupted podcast and on ISTE. But I just like the variety of topics. Barbara Bray, if anybody has listened to any of Barbara's, but I will warn you, if she invites you to be a guest on hers, be prepared to share pictures of your childhood that could at some point be a little embarrassing to see them posted out there. Dr. Will has a great show and just a lot of guests on as well. And I really do enjoy Teaching Keating by Weston and Molly Kieschnick, because both from being the perspective of educators, and a lot of times they tie it into like a TV show or a movie and then bring it back to education. They've been up in their game a little bit lately with some video and the back and forth, so you can actually see and envision them producing this podcast. So I share those and I recommend them, and I love what everybody else shared too. So thank you.
It's been so fun to hear what everybody has to share. So Lindsay, you're up.
Great. Yeah, so I will see you all at AASL. We should all meet up. And prior to that, I'll be in Philly for ALA Annual. I'm on the board of directors for AASL this year and next. So have definitely lots of conference duties to attend to. And then I'm super excited that Nashville is a site for the Future Ready Librarian Summit on July 24th. So Blake and I will be there. Come hang out with me and Blake and Shannon and Leah. It'll be a great time. So in addition to Shannon and Leah being there, Blake is working with our Tassel Summer PD committee, and they put a call out for some school librarian presenters, and we're hoping for some administrator presenters, just a variety, of voices to contribute to all that we will be talking about that day.
And it's always nice to be at your school district. And so I've done events there before in Nashville and with the public school system. And it's just, you guys have so many great librarians. I know that will have so many things to share along with all the amazing librarians in Tennessee and other places too. You can come from anywhere.
Yeah, speaking of that, if you're near Louisville this summer our summer refresher is kind of our annual school library conference. So it's always awesome, and it'll be a quick drive for me this time. Yay. Because Kentucky is one of the, I guess all the states are kind of wide. I don't know. Sometimes you got to drive a long way. I know a lot of people mention ASL. I'm currently reading lots of awesome sessions. I'm on the programming committee, so it's going to be hard to choose, but I can attest, like firsthand, it's going to be great. So
That's awesome. I'm so excited about that one.
So this summer and fall, I'm full with coursework. So that is definitely my professional development with Chicago State University. And they are actually having a future teacher summer experience regarding how does hip hop influence urban education. So I'm hoping I can get in, even though it's open just is for high schoolers. And namely, as well as Project Look Sharp has summer PDs going on, as well as the Summer Institute in Digital Literacy out of the University of Rhode Island and the Media Education Lab. And Chicago Public Schools just wrapped up with their Department of Libraries retreat. So that was just for me, that was a kickoff for the summer regarding what to be thinking about this summer and planning for. So a lot of inspiration there. And then IOL, our state organization, the Association of Illinois School Library Educators Conference, is the week before AASL. So I'm in limbo trying to figure out which one or both. But I will definitely be a part of the conversation when it comes to school librarians in Illinois this summer.
Oh, all right. So ENEDCO was mentioned, so I'm very much looking forward. I've been to ENEDCO twice and I love Breckenridge, so I get excited to go back to Denver this year. So that one is on my list, but I have a couple things. ISTE and the ASCD conference in San Antonio, looking forward to that. And I'm joining in. Auburn University is hosting this it's specifically geared toward like global instruction, world language educators, but it's open to anybody from grades K through 12 and higher education. So that's in July. It's a virtual summit, all focused on AI, and they have a panel and different people speaking and some sessions. And then speaking of Kentucky, KUDC is having their first AI summit in the beginning of July 7th and 8th. It's a 2-day event. So I will be there for that. And I'm really looking forward to it from everything that I've heard. And just there's so much excitement in Kentucky that anytime I get to do some type of an activity or go to a conference or a virtual event. So I'm looking forward to all of those things. And finally, Infosys has these free programs for educators. A lot of different tech companies are getting involved in this. So there's one coming up with elementary that I'll be involved in a session, and there's other companies too. So if you're looking for free PD, check out all things from Infosys and the companies this summer.
It's a great one. And then I put on here, of course, ISTE and our summit. And if you have never attended Carly and Adam's STEM conference, even though it's a STEM conference and it's perfect for librarians and for educators, it's so good because they have so many topics for our littles all the way up to our older kids, and you get to hear from a lot of different presenters. And so I absolutely love that one, and that is in July. I also put a couple webinars coming up. One next week is one that I'm doing with Book Creator, just tons of ideas for summer learning and reading. So I'm excited about that. And then my Fall It content series that starts in June will be in June, July, and August. And so the links are linked to both of these slides, and you can also find them on the slides too. So that was so many good things. I've taken notes on so many sticky notes, and I'm going to be busy this summer. And so the last thing I think that would just be fun to share, and please feel free to use the chat too as you listen to tell us what your ideas are for just that self-care and routine that we do throughout the summer.
Mine is not just the summer, it's like all the time. So
You're so talented.
I draw a lot, and I just found that book that's on the top there's a link to Start Here, 50 Ways to Be an Artist Without Trying. Like, it's kind of a good overview. It's got some good stuff in there. And then if you're into sketchnoting, like that book right below there is not new. It's like 10 years old, but it gives you lots of practice on drawing different fonts with your own hand instead of the computer. And lately I've been into fountain pens. I know this sounds super nerdy, but that little fountain pen picture there, it'll take you to a Facebook group of like 100,000 fountain pen people, and they share really cool pens and cool stuff all the time. So yeah, lately I was like pretty much only on my iPad, but lately I've just been using actual physical media lately. So it's been good.
Is that little video your work?
It is. It's just like one of my Instagram posts, I think, or TikTok or something. I forget what it is, but
Impressive, James. Impressive. I remember when you used to use that. What was the app on your iPad?
Procreate is my favorite iPad app. Yeah.
Yeah, you just really. I tried it after I saw you, and I have to say, I went to art school and I can't do it. So But it's so neat. I love that. Thanks for all these great suggestions
Yeah.
too. Awesome. Bill's gonna be cooking.
Yeah, so a few things, just, and this is kind of perpetual for me, but grilling and being outside, and both of my kids are coming home from college this summer, and they always enjoy the food that it gets made in the great outdoors. So that will be nice. I'm going lots of places too, so flying around the country and doing things, and then I tend to try to go to the gym a lot, and just go and get some exercise in. So those are my kind of perpetual self-care things that I do.
When do your kids get home?
Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, or a week,
Mine
like 10
too.
days.
Mine
Yeah,
too.
soon.
Can't wait.
Well, first off, this girl needs to like take some walks on the regular for exercise and stress relief and just meditation and reflection, hoping to get some massages or spa time, something nice. But this summer mainly is going to be focused on healing. My son there on the right in the wheelchair, that's James. He's 15. He went from being just a normal teenage boy on the high school bowling team, learning to drive, taking AP classes. And then he got a virus, which turned out to be an autoimmune disorder called Guillain-Barré. So he is struggling with mobility issues right now, some damaged nerves. So we're learning to walk again and learning to, get our fine motor skills back and all of that good stuff. So he's making some progress. So we're hoping to get on a plane at some point this summer and go have a little bit of a vacation. There's my family there in the middle. I have 4 sons. There's 2 girlfriends in the mix. So we're all hoping to go somewhere together.
Think about you a lot, my friend.
Thank you.
My self-care routine is always revolved around my daughter. They're wrapping up school in a couple of weeks, and we're be spending a lot of quality time together during the summer. Even though I'm a year-round employee, I still really refocus and dedicate a lot of time to her. Another thing that we're doing currently as we speak is what I like to call Mission Impossible, which is finding an affordable house in the Denver area. Our realtor is actually sending over an offer right now. I'm waiting for that to come through, but we do, my wife and I, this is house number 6 for us. We've moved all over the country, and we like to buy what we call granny houses. So an old house built in the 40s or 50s or even older, that maybe an original owner's never done anything except put up really ugly wallpaper. So my summer self-care involves renovating a house again for the umpteenth time, doing some gardening, getting outside and that sort of thing. And then once we have a space that's kind of ready, I'll be building another boat at some point. Actually, I may try something different. I've done 2 canoes, as you can see in the picture. I think this time I'm going to try a paddleboard. I've never built a paddleboard yet, so that'll be my opportunity to get away from a computer screen, take a leaf out of James's book and do something with my hands that's in real life media and not digital. I think is a nice way to use a different part of the brain and apply some of the random skills that I've learned over my life. But really, it's about being active and being with family.
So my summer self-care, I realized that I do need to do more self-care when I was trying to put together this slide. But this slide's outdated now because like Lynn, my wife and I have been gifted a house. So in the last 2 weeks, we put our house on the market, and we're going to be remodeling a house all summer long, hoping to be in it by August 1st, by the first day of school. But I still want to read, and I still want to travel, and of course I want to spend time with my little boy. And my wife, he's already 2, so we want to try to get as much time with him as possible.
Can't believe it. He's 2 already.
I know, it's crazy.
Crazy.
So I don't have a picture of my children here. I see a common theme. But my 22-year-old twins and my 19-year-old son are wrapping up their school years. And this summer, my self-care is going to try and calm my nerves as my firstborn is going to grad school in the UK. So this is a big jump for us, but I'm staying focused and staying calm. So part of my self-care that I do all the time, really living single. The 80s and 90s were the best part of my maturation process. So living single is always on, just to give me a time to just reconnect and even download and just feel good about just being present. And the time that I've had over these years of my life. Music is a staple in my life, 70s, 80s, and 90s for sure. And I'm in the gym 3 days a week, so I'm going to keep that going over the summer, all year. Hopefully my husband will be able to do some wonderful grilling in the backyard. He is a master chef, so I'm looking forward to that. And then that checklist is about time and time management and organization of things that need to get done. Like I said, as a full-time student with this doctoral program, there's a lot of things to keep track of. So just time management helps me feel more connected to my realities, thus taking care of my business, which is taking care of me.
And I put down just a few things. I love to travel and I love spending time with my family. So doing that, lots of reading, time at the lake. I just took up knitting. And so that's been fun. And we just put our garden in. So just lots of things that we enjoy doing.
So there's Nashville on the top. But I do love to go to Nashville, but I do love to travel. So my self-care, like non-negotiables are, especially in the summer, phone stays in the house. I go out on the deck, I grab a book, I start to read. So I got a pile of books there. That's actually like what's sitting next to me right now. And I have another pile to my left to be read. Some exercise, walking, and listening to podcasts, a lot of which many of you mentioned, a lot of the ones that are on my list. And then I have, like a Get Up and Go podcast playlist on my Spotify. So, music, travel, time with family and friends, of course, and just getting outside and breathing and learning. Like that's what makes me feel the best, is all the things that you see there. So
The weather, it's just been so nice, right? To have some nicer weather and be ready to spend time. But I'm so thankful for all of you who joined me today to present. And you guys are all such an inspiration and dear friends. And so I'm very grateful that you were here and everything that you shared, and also just everybody that joined us. Hopefully you take these slides and this resource and dig into it over the summer, just to kind of kick off your time, if it's listening or walking or watching or going somewhere, reading. Hopefully we gave you lots of ideas. And so I'm going to go through some resources, and then if we have questions, let's do that at the end. How does that sound? Because I want to make sure we get through these. But we always like to share our Future Ready Librarians and Future Ready School resources. If you came in late to our webinar, you can find the slides here, and we'll also share that when we share the recording too. This is just part of our webinar series that we kicked off in April. And so all of these slides are linked to the resources, so you'll be able to get to them. And once you register for one, you're registered for all 5 of them. And so we kick them off again in August with a back to school special and an AI one in September. And then of course our app smash that we always have. And so we're excited about that too. We also love always sharing the Achievery. This is one of our favorite sites from AT&T, and it is free for everyone. You can go to this link, and the great thing about the Achievery is they have brought together all kinds of content from different people that support every subject that you might teach within your school. And so for us as librarians, things like digital citizenship and literacy, news and media literacy. There's new AI lessons on here, coding, but there's also things around social studies, reading, science, all the topics. And these are some of our collaborators too that we'll see on there. But this is a great one to share this time of year with your families. And we just had a night at our school all around news and media literacy that we had the kids and the families involved in. And this was a really nice one to share with our families too, because it's free for everyone. And so share it with your teachers and share it with your families, and they'll find lots of things that they can use this summer too with their own kids. And so a few things too, just around Future Ready. Well, this one is one more that I wanted to share. Harmony is another one that we collaborate with. And Harmony Academy has a lot of resources, but some of our favorite are these little quick connection cards. A great thing to use too at the end of the year. We get out of school next Friday, and so I should definitely pull these out because that would be a good thing to share. But you can find all of the Future Ready librarian information on our hub. The website is there, and that includes our framework and conversation starter. There's a self-reflection. I always love doing this self-reflection at the beginning of the school year and at the end. This is actually part of my own professional development plan at school that I turn into my administrators that we all have to do each year probably. And so it's nice because I can use this in a really helpful way. I wanted to share our podcast, and it was mentioned a few times, Leading from the Library, and we're in our 10th season right now, which is so exciting. Jamie was a guest on this one, and most of you have been guests at least one time on the podcast. And so you guys can take a listen to that. And then we have other ones too. I know that we mentioned like Carl and Adam, and Tom Murray has a podcast too through Future Ready. So really great things to listen to. We wanted to throw this in here again. This is linked to how to register, and we have just a great day planned. We can't wait to be in Nashville. And then if you're looking for some PD, we also offer a free workshop that you can apply with for your district. And this is run by one of us from Future Ready, and we just have a great time sharing this in this kind of toolbox type workshop too, so you can check that out. But you can stay connected, share and learn, not only with our Future Ready librarian group, but with all of Future Ready schools. And so lots of ways that you can connect here too. And just a big thank you again to our friends at Follett, because we wouldn't be here without all of their amazing support. So thank you for all that you do. But I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any questions. And I haven't looked at the chat, so if one of you want to say anything or if there are any questions, then we can answer them. Otherwise, hey, it was a great hour together. So I know that I have lots of notes.
Yeah, there's nothing in the chat right now. There's no questions in the chat right now, Shannon. So I think we're okay, unless anybody wants some last words.
I love it. Yeah, well, you guys enjoy the end of your school year, and I am counting, I mean like a paper chain. I used to do it with my kids when they were little because we only have 7 days left. So I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. So I hope that everybody has a great end of your school year, and please feel free to reach out if you need anything, and everybody has their information too that you can find us all online. So thank you guys for joining me today. It was good to hear from everybody. See you in August and at ISTE.